Going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Life is one of the heaviest beams one can try to support. It is known to go through storms that contain heavy winds and downpours. But you are built to stand and not collapse. I challenge you to grow out of your comfort zone. The biggest giant you will ever face in life is your mindset. One of the biggest things that limit us and keep us defeated is the opinion we have of ourselves. When I changed my mind, it changed my life. I didn't just survive, I bounced back better. Bounce 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 back better.
Hello, happy Sunday to everyone. Thank you once again for joining in for LifeStruction with Eric. As always, I am Eric, your host. Today we have Brother Anthony that's going to be on chatting with us about the amazing work that he's doing in the community. Everybody take the time real quick to share this broadcast out. Hit that share button. Share it if you know someone that don't have Facebook and they're a guru on YouTube. Tag them right now. Tell them to chime in, especially if they have some teenage men. Definitely chime in. They definitely need to get on this and see it. But anyway, I hope everyone is having a great Sunday. As I stated, we have Brother Anthony on with us today. He's going to be sharing with us about the amazing work that he's doing in the community. Just briefly, I have a little feedback on my end. Sorry about that, guys. One moment. Okay, it stopped. Okay. Brother Anthony is simply known as, Anthony Glover, simply known in his community as Brother Anthony, is a Phoenix native. He has made presence felt in the community through spoken word, poetry, event hosting, and mentoring of young men with Fight for Life, No Excuses Manhood Training Program, which is located in South Phoenix. He is the founder of Useful Hands Phoenix and the program director of Thunderbirds on the Rise, a mentoring program for male students of T.G. Bar Elementary, also located in South Phoenix. Brother Anthony desired to find another unique way to connect with and guide young men on their journey to manhood, especially as it pertains to creating great use and value with their hands. So, as I stated, we were chatting just before we came on live. He stays busy with the youth, and he has an amazing way that he's touching them with hands-on, as well as giving them knowledge. So at this time, I'm just going to turn it over to Brother Anthony. Let him tell you guys a little bit about what it is that he does and exactly who he is. So I'm going to release it over to you, brother.
All right, Brother Walt. First and foremost, I really appreciate you for sharing the platform and having me on today to share my journey, to share my story, my message, my mission. So once again, I really appreciate you, Mr. Eric Winfield. It's always a pleasure to be able to share my story and with the hopes of inspiring somebody else out there in the world who may be watching. Now, a little bit about me and what I do. As you said, I do a lot of things, and particularly with the youth, with our young men in the community, whether I'm teaching them how to fish, grill, teaching them some woodwork, teaching them some auto care. I also have another mentor program that I'm with, who I've been with for the past 5 years, called Fight for Life, which is more of a classroom setting, kind of a mentorship program. So I wanted to do something a little different besides just sitting in the classroom, showing them different things, and because that's more of the mind. And all my guys know me. I'm a little bit of a country boy. I got to use my hands. I want to show these young guys how to get out there and fix something as well. So I wanted to start something where I can teach them some life skills and get out there and get outside and get outdoors and get that physical activity going. So that was something that inspired me to create Useful Hands PHX. And it was also created during the pandemic. And it's something that I've had in my head for a while. And it took the pandemic to really happen to kind of put some fire under me to kind of get it going. Now, when the pandemic came around, a lot of people had time on their hands, and there was a lot of people who had a lot of goals and dreams that they had to make happen because we had no excuses. We had so much time and opportunity, and I didn't want to let this go by, and I did not make anything happen with my dream. So that's why I took that opportunity to make it happen. Um, Now, as much as I do in this community, um, a part of this revolutionary, I guess you could say, I can't say it was something that I grew up thinking about. I didn't grow up thinking about mentoring young men in my community. I didn't grow up thinking that I was going to be a spoken word poet in my community or a community activist. It's not something that I dreamed about. It was something that started to pull at my soul in my late 20s, early 30s, and I'm only 34 right now. So, to be honest with you, in my 20s, I thought I was going to be a basketball player for a while. I thought I was going to make the NBA, and I'm 6'5". I don't know if you can tell by looking at the screen, but I'm a tall brother. I was athletic, played basketball my whole life. I thought that was it. I thought that's what I was supposed to do. So I didn't think about anything else. Then it took me to get a little older, have my first child. That's when I started looking at the world a little bit differently. Um, Being surrounded by certain individuals in my community who inspired me to get involved in the betterment of my community. Then I got married, had another child, and I became a full-blown just family man. And when you think about your community, your city, the world that you live in, then you look at your wife and your kids, it makes you want to contribute to that community because they live in it, first of all, and it makes you just want to contribute in some kind of way to bettering your surroundings, your environment where you live. So my wife and my kids are definitely a big inspiration to do what I do. And as far as mentoring young men, that was something else that came later on. People know me; they know me that they know that poetry is my foundation. I was just a poet. I was a guy who was always hit the open mics. I was a featured poet over there, featured poet over here, and I'm just Brother Anthony, the poet. That was me. That kind of led into event hosting. So I started hosting different events in the city of Phoenix, whether it be a fashion show, community, big community event, diaspora day event, this a dance competition. I just started getting booked to host all kind of shows. I guess I didn't think I was ever going to do that. Some people started seeing something in me to want to have them reach out to me to host different events. So I became a poet. Then I started hosting events. Then one day I got invited out to a mentorship program called Fight for Life. And it was their second year running. And they wanted me to come in as a poet and just talk to the young men about self-expression, another way to kind of get things off of the chest. So I was just coming in as a poet for this one day to talk about some poetry and maybe share some. And during that day, I felt a connection with these young brothers. It was all a bunch of young brothers. And I started to hear a little bit more about their stories. I shared a little bit more about mine. And we did some poetry. But when I left, I just kind of felt like, hold on, man, I got so much more I can talk to the young men about. I have so many more experiences and knowledge I can share with them as an adult black male, as them being young black male. I'm more than just a poet. I could teach them some other stuff. And that's when something started to bubble up inside of me to start going around a lot more with this program. I asked him, I said, can I come back another day? I don't want to come back as the poet. I want to come back as, a volunteer. And then I came back the next week, and next thing you know, I'm on the actual board, on the director board of the program. And I've been I've been a mentor with this program for the past 5 years. And that's how I started with young men. It was from that first day showing up as a poet, and I realized I had so much more to offer to these young men than poetry. And as I got older and started doing my own thing and realizing so many boys in my community were fatherless and even uncle-less, because I live in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. This is a big transplant state. A lot of people move out here to Phoenix, and a lot of single mothers move out here to Phoenix. So that means the young man may not have a father, and he may not have uncles out here either, because they don't have family when they move out here. So the mentality me and my brothers picked up a while back, we don't even like to call each other mentors. We like to call each other community uncles. Right. So when these sisters move out to the city of Phoenix and You know, the first thing they do is they go on the group pages in Phoenix and where's this at? Where's that at? What can I do for my son? Where can I put my son in a program? My son needs guidance. And me and my brothers, our names get tagged about 3 times a week, and we love it. And it makes us feel like we're doing our job. We feel like we are community uncles that you reach out to, that you when you need assistance or your young man needs guidance. So that's been our mission for the past 5, 6 years, is being community uncles, because we do feel like this is a village. And back in the day, we really had that village mentality where you will go out and, you know, you will get checked by the lady down the street or the brother down the
Right.
street. They will check you. They will stop you and drop some gems on you for no reason. They'll say, come over here, young buck, and throw some game on you just because they know that you are part of their village and they want to watch you flourish and grow out of love and passion. So we are really trying to bring that village mentality back, that village spirit back. So we don't really even call ourselves mentors. We call each other community uncles. So when I work with a young man and a young man takes my program for the weekend, or I'm taking a young man to the horse ranch I work at a couple days and he helps me out, after that, he's my nephew. You know, I tell him, I say, you know what? And I tell the parents too. I said, I got to work with him. I connected with him. You know, you stuck with me now. You know, I go by Brother Anthony, but to you, young man, I'm Uncle Anthony now. I'm Uncle Ant. So lock my number in. I'm gonna be calling you every now and then for this, inviting you for that, and I'm officially your uncle. And I tell the parents the same thing. You know, if you ever need somebody to talk to or need help with anything, I want to be that uncle, as well as my brother. They feel the same way, and that's the mentality that we're trying to bring back and really cultivate in the city of Phoenix. We really want to cultivate this community feel, this village, this tribe feel in the city of Phoenix. And so far, I've been having a blast doing it. It's beautiful to balance my community family as well as my family at home, my household family. I get so much support from my wife and my children. I got one baby and I got a 12-year-old. And I get so much support and love at home for what I do. And, you know, I don't see myself slowing down. I like to tell people that my ultimate goal is, you know, I'm 34. One day I'm gonna be a 78-year-old brother in the city of Phoenix. You know, I'm gonna be the old guy, the real old guy.
Right.
But it's gonna be beautiful to have men in the city of Phoenix, or a man come up to me like, you know, Brother Anthony or Uncle Anthony. I don't know if you remember me, but you taught me how to fish in a program in 2021, or
Wow.
you taught me how to change a flat tire back in 2020. Here's my son, and I know I'm teaching him. Or Brother
Wow.
Anthony might not remember me, man, but you taught me how to do some spoken word, and I'm a full blown poet, and I started learning from you, and that's going to be my goal. I want to have a lot of men in my city that I can say I had a little bit of contribution in with bringing up. You know, they're my nephews. They're not my sons. I don't have any sons. I have 2 daughters. That's it. So I look at these young men as my community nephews, and all I want to do is contribute to them on their journey to becoming men. Even when they are men, I'm still going to be there, because the older I get, the older they get, they're always going to need somebody. So I would love to be an old man in the city of Phoenix and have a lot of men, strong, mighty men in the city of Phoenix, in which I had some kind of contribution with developing those men. Whether they took my program, whether they took a program with me and my brothers, whether they read my book when they was a little kid and started their relationship with me from there, whether they went out to the horse ranch with me and I put them to work. I want to have some kind of contribution, some kind of assistance with a lot of men in my community from years and years down the line, that I could say, you know what, I did my job. I contributed to my city, to my community, to my hometown, which is to make men, to make better men in my city and my community.
Right. Good deal, man. I love that story. Love that story. And you know that I love the part you said about, you know, you become the community uncle. You know, the
Yes.
community. And I definitely love that more so as a mentor, because, you know, it's compassion behind it. You know, community uncle is compassion there, and it tells that you're really connecting with the kids. You know, I heard you say country boy. Where are you from
I'm
originally?
originally and I do want to say one thing about the community uncle term, because if I'm gonna call somebody my nephew, or I'm gonna claim to be their uncle, You can't play with that. You have to really mean
Live up
that.
to it. That's right.
You have to really mean that. If I'm gonna call this young man, nephew Taekwon, or what's up, nephew James, if I'm gonna call him that and give him that feel, you got to stand on that and you got to mean that and you have to be passionate about it because they already go through so much, seeing people come and go, or seeing people give up on them, and seeing people just kind of like, throw their hands up with them. You can't be throwing that word around community uncle. So when me and my brother say community uncle, we really mean it. So that means we will pull up to your neighborhood if we hear so and so's going on and we got to figure out what's going on. We will be at the front door. Your mama will call us up and we will pull up. We will pull up to your basketball games. We pull up just to catch up. We'll put you to work. We'll help you find a job. We really mean that when we say community uncle. It's not for show, not just because it sounds good. It's something that we really mean and we really stand on. And I'm originally from Phoenix, Arizona. I was born in Phoenix. My parents were born in Phoenix. I have a long, long family down the list that are all from Phoenix, Arizona. And, as I was a young kid, young boy, about 7, 8 years old, my mom met my dad. At the time, I guess he was my stepdad, but he's still here. That's my dad. And he's a country boy from Gainesville, Florida. So I was, I'm this little Phoenix boy, and all of a sudden, I got this country brother from Gainesville molded me to become a man. And then when I turned 12, we ended up moving to Louisiana. We moved to Shreveport, Louisiana at that. Not New Orleans, not down there. We moved to the country, Shreveport, which is a couple hours out of Texas. So North Louisiana, that's where you're going to see the country lifestyle. And that's where I spent all my teenage years from 8th grade all the way through high school. And that's where I kind of started to find myself, a little bit more of my identity, along with my best friends out there who are now my brothers. And so on top of me being raised by a country brother from Gainesville, from the backwoods, he grew up in a trailer park in the woods. On top of that, and spending my years being molded in a country town like Shreveport where it wasn't much to do, that made up a big part of who I am today. The mentality, because it comes with the mentality. Everybody knows, country folks, easygoing, it don't take too much. It's all about just, being peaceful or trying to have some peace. We don't take too much for us to be at peace with something. We can make some work with something small. And we like to fix things on our own. We like to take care of things. We like to handle things. And what I got from my dad, my old country dad, is when you got adversity, problems, or some work, roll your sleeves up and get to work. No complaining, no pouting. It's a mentality. So when I say country boy, I'm a little country. I mean, what I'm really saying is I'm on type of brother who's gonna roll my sleeves up and I'm gonna make it happen. I'm not gonna pout about it. I'm not gonna cry about how hard it is for me right now. Although I might feel stressed, I might feel tired and this and that. I might let a little bit of frustration out. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna roll my sleeves up and I'm gonna make it happen because that's a mentality. Do what you can with what you got, and and I love it. I love what made me, who made me, and every single day I'm trying to get better and better and sharpen it up as much as I can.
Good deal. Good deal. So with you working with the youth, what are some of the challenges that you run across while working with the young guys?
It will be the outer influences. You got the smaller influences, whether they infatuated with a certain style of music. That's what a lot of people like to point out, but that's just one. Then you have where they live at. A lot of people see me grilling and fishing with them, and it looks like fun. It looks like a lot of fun, but a lot of what I do not share is the other side of mentoring young men. And matter of fact, I'm going to share some with you that I haven't really shared. I don't really talk about it. When I post my work on Facebook or Instagram, we're outside having fun. We're learning something. That's all cool. But the other side is the competition, which is the negativity in this world. Not that long ago, I had to manhandle one of my young men who had a baseball bat in his hand, ready to attack somebody else. Um, I had a young man who's actively gang banging right now. He's an active gang member and where he's at. And he's into it with so-and-so down the street. And you got to try to meet up with them and talk to the OG over there and see what's going on with this. A young man getting kicked out of his house, not getting along with his mom. And you got to try to help them out and try to just, it's like you got to kind of be a counselor as well. So this one side of mentoring, we can have fun and we laughing and teach them things, and it's all love and they're easy going. They don't have many problems in their lives. Then there's young men who are really going through some real stuff. Like I have a young man that I work with, and he's an active gang member. He will tell you, I'm a Crip. That's what he'll tell you. But I still work with him. He still calls on me, and I just got him a job working at Hell's Chicken Mart. So there's a whole another side to this mentoring thing. It's not all just having fun and teaching them how to fish. The dark side for me is the competition, which is the negativity they see every single day. One of the biggest competitions is the mentality that some of them have, which is them feeling hopeless and not valued. So it's one thing for a young man to, not getting along with his parents, not getting good grades and getting along with his siblings, but when they feel like they're hopeless, they don't care, it's whatever, that's when it's hard, because you really got to drag them out of that muddy spirit that they have. You got to put in a lot of work. That might be the toughest part, because they'll give up. And if you give up, they're definitely going to give up. But when you keep on going, they can give up. But if you keep on going, eventually you're going to pull them out. So it's something that you really have to stick with. If the young man told me he's gang man, hey, you gang banging, hey, I'm not messing with you. I can't mess with that. And just going about my business, I just gave up on him just like that. And he's going to make a decision. Or if a young man says, you know what, I don't care about what you're talking about, this and that, this is how I feel. I'm not going to quit on him. I'm just going to let you know I'm still going to be here for you, though. Here's my number. I'm still going to be here just to let you know. You can give up all you want to, but just know that I'm going to be right here in the corner. So the biggest challenge is dragging some of them out of that dark, negative mind frame and spirit that they have, which was probably put on them by somebody older than them, might have been a parent, might have been that a parent wasn't there. A lot of young men never seen their father. I have a young man that I work with, a few of them, that never even seen their father, or in my case, my biological father lived in the same city I did in Phoenix, and I've seen him a couple times as a kid. And that's, whatever the reason is, at the end of the day, that it is what it was. And you get older and it starts to mess with you. And you start to question yourself and your own value. So you really got to talk to the young men and talk them out of feeling the way they're feeling. And you got to do that with love, encouragement, and action. So that would be the toughest part, is just trying to change their mentality. Because sometimes they sink, and you got to try your hardest to pull them out of that.
Good deal. Yeah. And I mean, it's always a side that we don't see that can be very discouraging. And I was thinking this, and somebody asked the question, do you ever find yourself discouraged and want to give up, basically because of the way that they interact with you at sometimes?
I don't. There's been a couple of situations where I was frustrated and tired, and because this work is beautiful. I'm passionate about it. I don't plan on stopping, but it's also, at times, it can be emotionally draining, because it's like they're plugging into me. When I'm working with these young men, for that moment that I have them, I'm supposed to be on a positive mentality. I'm supposed to have those vibes. I'm supposed to be wise. I'm supposed to be turned on. So in that instance, they're essentially plugged into me. So I have to give them the energy. So when I'm working with them and battling with some of them, when I'm done, I could be drained. I could be tired. And keep in mind, I have a wife and 2 girls. So I have to balance. Being drained mentally and emotionally from what I do, for my passion, and still come home and still have enough in my cup to and fill up my daughter's cup, my wife's cup, my other daughter's cup, and still have that energy and the good vibes for my family as well. So I do have those situations where I might be tired. I need to fall back for a day or so. I might got to go fishing by myself for a day, or I might got to go right around and just unplug for just a little bit. My wife is real good about vacations. We used to travel a lot. We're gonna get back on it. The pandemic is kind of running off, so we're gonna get back on it. So I have to have outlets. So I don't feel like I want to quit. But when I have those frustrating moments, I feel like I need to do something. I need to cool off. So I would do something. All these things I teach the young boys, fishing, woodwork, it's not just fun, it's therapeutic. So when I'm teaching these boys about fishing and woodworking and all this grilling, it's fun, but I'm also telling them I do this myself. When I feel emotionally drained or I'm tired, I feel like I'm gonna have a mental breakdown, I might step outside and get on the grill or go fishing. It's therapeutic. So those are the things I do to keep myself sharp, to keep my energy up. So I don't feel like quitting. I just feel like I'm plugging for a moment. That's it.
Right. Yeah. That's what it's all about sometimes, disconnecting to reconnect.
Yeah.
Another question, basically with all going on with our law enforcement, you know, we see it on the news, you know, on our social media timelines, videos sometimes of how they, you know, find a youth walking down the street. They're not doing nothing, but just because they fit the description. You know, do you have conversations with them, you know, about that, you know, just in case they run into a situation like that?
Well, we have to because they see it every single day. We're talking about teenagers and we're talking about the social media era. So they can look at the phone and see it every single day in their face all day. You know, back in the day, we heard about it, some of the videos that came out, but I had to see it on the news. I had to wait till I see something happen on the news to realize, wow, those cops are crazy. Nowadays, you see it all day, every day. There's clips, there's millions of clips of black men, black women getting mistreated and abused by law enforcement. They see it so much. We have to talk about it. Whether we have a black officer come in during our program, during our Fight for Life program to talk about things they can do, and not just what they can do, but we also want to remind these young brothers that a lot of it ain't got nothing to do with you. You know, it's not your fault. One of the worst things that can happen to these young brothers is to feel like, wow, these people they must hate me. You know, they seen us getting killed every day, getting shot every day, and sometimes you see that over and over again. You start to question your own value. You start to question yourself, like, why are we getting treated like this? Like, what about us? Are we not valuable? Are we not are we not worth being treated like this? And you start to
Right.
look at yourself, and sometimes it eats at you, and you start to question your own self. So one of the things we teach our young men is no, don't take that in. Don't take the no. You know what? All that you see, how you getting treated, how they treating your brothers, they got nothing to do with you. That's somebody else's mentality. Don't take on what they got going on and put that on your shoulders. You are still great. You are still a king. You are still mighty. No matter what you see on that TV, what they doing to you, don't get it twisted. You are still a king. You are still a great man in the making. So don't let that fool you to make you feel like you're worthless, and that's how you're supposed to be treated. We want them to know that you are a great man, no matter what you see on that TV screen or your phone screen on Instagram or Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, explain exactly what Useful Hands is, how it works, and could you pretty much tell us, you know, all of the trades and skills, you know, that you teach these young guys?
Yeah, Useful Hands PHX. Like I said, I created it during the pandemic when I had some time on my hands. And I had an idea, a vision a couple of years ago, actually. I was talking to my friends, and, they knew I was really getting horses and working on the ranch, and they know I like to grill. And I had a vision of having a program already. I said, I want to start like a class or program. It was just an idea. It was just something I didn't really have nothing to back it. It was just a little, I just said it out loud in front of my friends. But during this pandemic, I took on a lot of backyard projects. I took on a lot of grilling because we was at home all day. We was all at home all day. So I did a lot of outdoor stuff in my backyard, just working, keeping myself productive, trying to keep myself busy and sharpen up my skills. And one day I was working on something, and you ever heard the term lefty loosey, righty tighty?
Yes. Yes.
My dad taught me that when I was a kid, and I'm 34. And when I'm fixing something, I still hear my dad's voice in my head, lefty loosey, right? And I'm 30. It just never escaped my head. I'm like, well, I'm 34, and I still hear my dad saying lefty loosey, righty tighty. And what I'm doing, I like doing it's easy, and I could do the same for these young men I've been working with. Teach them how to do some things with their hands. I already work with them to sharpen up their minds. How about I do something to sharpen up their hands, the value that they have in their hands? Because it also builds up your confidence. When you feel like you know how to use these bad boys, it builds up your confidence. So I sat down, I just wrote it out, wrote the plan out, and I knew that I was going to start off by myself. So I wanted to pick out a few skills or trades that I feel like I'm somewhat good at or I can teach. And I wanted to start from there. So I already consider myself, good on the grill. So I said, that's definitely got to be something. Fishing. My dad's been taking me fishing since I was a little kid. So I could definitely teach fishing. I was just getting into woodwork. I haven't been doing woodwork all my life. I had shop class as a kid, but it's not something, it didn't stick with me. I just started getting back into it as an adult. And I said, you know what? I can teach them some woodwork, how to make planter boxes. And of course, auto care. Auto care is always going to be the number one, changing flat tires. So I wrote out these 4 trades, and I said, all right, cool, how am I going to do this? I said, I'm going to divide it up, 2 days each, 2 skills each. The first day, auto care, charcoal grilling. The second day, woodwork, fishing, 4 hours each day, 2 hours each class or each training. And I created a website with the great help of my wife. We created a website, usefulhandsphx.com. And what you would do is fill out an interest form, and I will call you back, and we will set up a weekend. And on that weekend, over those 2 days, they meet me at a neighborhood park where I live at. And it's a lake. They have a lake there, big old fields. And I load up my old pickup truck with my work tables, with my barbecue grills, with all my tools. I just load up my old pickup truck, and I meet them at the park in the morning time. And I set everything up like it's a classroom. 4 grills lined up, 4 workbenches lined up. They all get assigned their own desk alongside their grill or their workbench or their fishing poles. They get their own tools and everything for the day. And I wanted to make it feel like a real classroom type setting environment, but we're outdoors. And I've been sticking with that format since I started. I wanted to make sure that every child or every young man had their own drill for the day, have their own tools, own set of gloves, own barbecue grill, own fishing pole. When they change flat tires, they all got their own little set of tools. And I wanted to teach them certain things to give them a heads up. I don't want a young man to wait till he has a flat tire when he's 18 and to be like, oh, what do I do? I want him to teach him at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, because it's about getting a heads up or a head start. It's about being ahead of the game. There was a brother who reached out to me not long ago, man, and I always share this, man. He said, I'm embarrassed to tell you, but I'm going to tell you, man, because what you're doing is making me want to be vulnerable. And I got to tell you, man, it's an embarrassing story, but I got to tell you why this is important. I was 28. I was in Alabama and I was riding with my girlfriend, and I had a flat tire. And he said, you know what? I didn't know what to do. I never changed a flat tire, and I didn't have a dad to teach me. So I'm trying to act like I know what I'm doing. And my girlfriend realized I didn't know what I was doing. And my girlfriend actually knew how to change the flat tire. She knew how to change the flat tire. And my girlfriend had to tell me what to do. And my ego, my pride was so, strong. I had to just tell her to tell me what to do when I was doing it. And I was struggling. And he said a police officer came up, helped him out. And the police officer said, you don't know how to change the tire, boy? And he kind of made him feel bad. Just to add insult to injury, he already felt embarrassed that he didn't know in front of his lady. Now he got this cop coming to help him, and he kind of just insults him again. And he said that was the most embarrassing moment of my manhood. And he's saying that I wish when I was a kid, I had like a program like yours, or I wish I had a program like yours I can go to just to learn when I was a kid so I can get a head start so I wouldn't have to go through that day I went through. So I think about that. I want to give these young men head starts. A lot of these young men are being raised by single mothers. If they're riding with their mom, they get a flat tire, they can say, Mom, stay in the car. I got this. Or, Mom, you ain't got to cook tonight. I'm going to go get on the grill. I'm going to make us some burgers, Mom. Or, Mom, I'm going to go ahead and I got you, Mom. I know how to work wood. I'm going to go ahead and build that. I want them to get a head start right now today so they can start contributing to their family and their friends as they become a man and, doing things on their own. And not only is it giving them a head start, is building up their confidence. When a young man is working with fire with the grill and he's like, whoa, then he starts to get a little comfortable and he's handling that fire and they flipping the tire and they doing all this and that. It builds up the confidence. And they start walking with a little more pep in their step because they know they're ahead of the game. They're ahead of the game, so it makes them feel good inside.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. So off of that, tell people how they can follow you online, reach out to you. You have a website. I have the website going across the bottom there. Is there an age requirement? You know, do you go to the website to get enrolled? How do they connect with you?
Yes, on my website, I have all the more detailed information on what I do, the location, the pricing, the different specials I may have every now and then. I always like to have specials, whether you're a young man that's graduating high school, like a lot of young men just graduated high school. So I'm gonna say, you know what, all those young men who just graduated, let's get them to learn some skills because they're about to be men pretty soon. So let's cut down the price. Let's get them in so we kind of get them going. And on the page, all the way at the bottom, there's an enrollment form, interest form. So if you want to sign your son up, you will fill out your information and you'll get a personal phone call from me. And I will ask you questions about your son. I will ask you if there's something that you would like for him to hear from a positive man when I'm with him while we're fishing or grilling. I will ask you his health restrictions, dietary restrictions, because they all prep and cook their own food. And we talk about a weekend, we can start working with them. I look at my calendar, you look at your calendar, and we say, you know what, that Saturday and Sunday works, and you meet me at the park. Simple as that. I try to keep it real simple. Like I said, I'm a community uncle. I'm a laid-back kind of guy. I'm a real laid-back kind of guy. I don't like to make things too difficult, too complex. You know, just meet me at the park these 2 days, and I got the rest. I got everything else. They'll be fed because they're cooking their own food.
Yeah, good deal. Good deal. Well, as I stated to you, you know, before we went live, you know, definitely me and a couple other brothers that I'm connected with, we definitely be connected with you. We want to definitely come out and help volunteer. Hopefully become community uncles as well. So yeah, we have a few people from the LifeStruction community that's definitely going to want to connect with you and come volunteer and help out. Also, you, like myself, you know, you're a published author. Tell us a little bit about your book.
Yes. Also, you know, this pandemic, man, I'm telling you, man, this pandemic really put a fire in me. Whether it started youth from head paychecks, I also sat down and wrote my very first children's book called "I Can't Wait to Be a Man." And
Okay.
I sit down, and I've been working with young men for a while, and it's always been teenagers and pre-teens at the youngest. And a lot of people were like, "No, what about the baby boys? Did you do anything with them?" I never really had something physical like I did with them. I wanted to do something for young boys in the pandemic. I said, no, I could write this book to give them a head start. So I wrote this book called I Can't Wait to Be a Man. And it's narrated by a young black boy. And every page, he's excited to tell you the things that he practices on his journey as a boy to become a man. Things that were told to him by his dad and his Uncle James. So he's talking about chivalry. He's talking about taking care of his responsibilities, never being ashamed to raise his hand in class, respecting and acknowledging his elders. Every page is a jewel, is a nugget that he's talking to the young boy. He's narrating and saying, you know what? For example, every single page, he's telling you with excitement. You know, before I go outside and play, I make sure I take the trash out because that's taking care of my responsibilities. My dad says taking care of responsibilities is a big part of being a man. Next page, he's opening up the door for his mom and his sister. And he's telling the reader, like, you know what? I always make sure I open up the door for my mom and my sister. My Uncle James says this is chivalry. That's being a gentleman. And that's a great part, a great characteristic of being a man. So every page, he's doing something to show you how he's practicing right now as a boy to one day becoming a man. So he's taking all these jewels and he's carrying it with him on his journey to manhood. And it's called I Can't Wait to Be a Man. And I just wanted to bring the, you know, to showcase the narrative of the excitement and the joy looking forward to being a man. You know, because being a man is a very honor. It's an honor to be a man. So I wanted to have a young black boy be excited, not dreading like I got to be a man and take care of the responsibility. No, this young boy is excited to practice being the best man he can be. So when these young boys read it and they can feel the excitement, like my little boy is excited. I want them to close the book and be like, man, I want to go open up the door for my mama when she come in. Let me go take the trash out and handle my responsibilities because that's what men do. I want them to have that feeling to look forward to becoming the man and doing what you got to do. And you can
Good deal.
find this book on I can't wait to be a man.com. Simple. I can't wait to be a man.com without the exclamation mark. And that's where you can purchase my book.
All right. I can't wait to be a man.com. Definitely go and support Brother Anthony and get that book. I can't wait to be a man.com. That's pretty easy to find. Once again, I can't wait to be a man.com. Also, you said your first love is poetry.
Oh, yeah.
First love is
That's my
poetry.
foundation.
Do you have a brief piece you could share with us today?
You know what? I got you. You know, I appreciate you so much, Mr. Eric Winfield. I appreciate you so much for letting me talk about my journey. I'm going to go ahead and do so. I'm going to take a swig of this water first.
Okay.
Man, you know, I started off as a poet, and so much has transpired since then. I'm so much more than a poet now. Sometimes poetry, I don't do it as much as I used to, and it always feels good to have an opportunity to do it again. So I had this piece called Revolutionary Soldier. I look at myself as a soldier in the Black Revolution, and I like to perform this when I'm out of town to kind of introduce myself to who I am and what I am in my city. Back home, I'm known as a revolutionary soldier, using my words and actions as weapons of mass progression, and I'm on the front line in a war that's been going on for so long, in which the enemy is Black oppression. Are you a soldier like me? You can't be a Black empowerment. It's not so obsessive because I live for that Black fish raised high in the air. Been putting in so much work in my city that one day I'm gonna become a target, but I've reached a point of passion where I no longer care. See, I told you I'm a soldier. My people use my heart as a generator. Past, current, and future generations plug into me to generate change within this wicked nation. But I'm not a God. See, I don't want to mislead you to believe that I am your salvation. I'm just another positive Black man striving to achieve progressive manifestation. And until then, I will not quit. Ain't no pit stops or intermissions during the process of this revolutionary mission. I will not rest until I see fruition amongst the great Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X's vision. Because like them, I'm a soldier in the front line, in which all my brothers and sisters listening need to be enlisted in. Where my soldiers at? That's that piece right there.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. But you already knew you were powerful in that. I mean, your first love, and you spoke about it a lot. So I already knew you were powerful in that. So do you still do it from time to time?
Yeah, I was actually a featured poet at the event that just passed in Phoenix last weekend. We had the annual National Hair Show for Black women. I might be chopping up the name, but it was an Arizona hair show for Black women. Every year they have a big showcase for Black women. You know, they talk about hair, but they have a lot of vendors. Just a big, beautiful village event. And they asked me to be a featured poet for the event, and I did a piece called Dear Black Woman. And that was the first time I got to really be in front of a lot of people at one time since the pandemic came about. So it felt really good to be a part of that. So, you know, I'm slowly getting back into it. You know, I'm still a poet. At the end of the day, as much as I do, I'm an author now. You know, I'm a business owner now, and I do this, I do that. But at the end of the day, the foundation is poetry. Poetry opened up the door for all of this. I told you I got into it because I volunteered at a program talking about poetry. So poetry is the foundation. That's when I started laying my bricks down. So I'm always going to be a poet as well.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, Brother Anthony, I thank you so much, man, for coming on and, sharing what it is you're doing in the community. Also sharing, the compassion that you have. The entire time you're talking, we can hear, the compassion on the inside of you, for the work that you do. And I definitely commend you for not only being, helping out the kids, you also are, a father and a husband as well. That means a lot. So definitely I appreciate you. To everyone that's streaming, make sure you go to the website. If you know someone that could definitely, who he could definitely be an impact on their lives, share it with, mothers that and get them signed up. Also, you can go to his website as well. Everything that you do like this, it definitely requires money to do it. So go to that website as well. You have a donation tab on it. I think if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you know, let's be a blessing to him. And I do that as well. And also, what else was it? Yeah, that's basically it. Definitely go to his website and you'll find all the information as well as his book as well. Let's support him and purchase that book. Once again, brother, definitely appreciate you. Also, if you're not connected with me, make sure you go to, I don't know why that crackling is happening. I don't know what's going on there. Definitely go to my website or go to Instagram, hit that follow _ Eric Winfield. Also on Facebook as well as YouTube. We stream on all three on Sundays. So definitely go there and do that. Also, I pretty much, that's funny. He's my production manager. He always have to type a joke in every week. Can we sign up Eric for grilling classes? He can't cook. That is not true. Yeah, but I have pretty much asked who was streaming, and a lot of people didn't really say anything. But anyways, this week we have a giveaway, and it's going to be this basket here, and this basket is being donated by Show Enough Natural Body Care Products. So definitely they have a Facebook page you can go to. She's a good friend of my family, and she's making all of this crafted. Her and her business partner is making this handcrafted. They're making it themselves, and it's great product. So definitely go to her Facebook page and support her on that. But pretty much, I asked who was streaming, and only a few people typed their name in. So if you didn't type your name in, you're about to miss out. But anyways, we're going to do this giveaway real quick before we go. And let's see who's going to be the winner. Looks like Miss Sandra Covington is the winner. Miss Sandra Covington. Miss Sandra is the winner for today. Is Sandra still on? Hopefully she's still on. If not, she streams every week, so it's about time that she won something. So congratulations to you, Miss Sandra. Does anybody else have any questions for Brother Anthony before we log off today? If not, we thank you guys so much for streaming. Chloe, you're late. I asked your name like 2 minutes ago and you just typed your name. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I know it's a holiday weekend, so a lot of people are grilling and doing their thing. So a lot of people didn't tune in, but it'll be up if you want to share it on your page so other people can go and watch. It definitely will be on. But thank you again for tuning in. Thank you so much, Brother Anthony, for coming on. I'm looking forward to connecting with you when I get back in Phoenix in a few weeks. I just pray that God continue to bless you and give you the strength to push through and make it happen. And to everybody that's streaming, you have a great week. Remember to smile from the heart. It gives you a glow that you'll be able to bless somebody else. With that being said, have a great week. And we'll see you next Sunday with another broadcast. Be blessed.